Moscow of the gilded cupolas, as the Slav poets say, shone in the sunlight with its 295 churches, its 1,500 castles, its wooden houses in yellow, green, and pink. It lacked only cypress trees and the Bosphorus. The Kremlin formed part of this mass, covered with polished and painted metal. Amongst elegant villas of brick and marble, the Moskva flowed through parks planted with fir, the palm trees of that region. Venus, in the days of its glory, was not more brilliant, rising from the Adriatic wave. Chateaubriand.
With its orchards, gardens, huge bazaars and its medieval-looking streets, the city of Moscow was full of contrasts. Its character was carefree and unkempt. Unlike most European cities, Moscow lacked public spaces for leisure such as coffee places, libraries and theatres. The great stone palaces of the nobility were alongside the single-storey wooden cabins. At the centre of the city was the Kremlin. There is nothing above Moscow except the Kremlin, and nothing above the Kremlin except heaven. So proclaims an old Russian proverb. Founded by Prince Yuri Dolgoruki, it started as a tiny hamlet on a bend of the Moscow River, which was enclosed with a pine palisade to protect its inhabitants. From the 14th to 17th century, it housed the seats of the nation's government and the Russian Orthodox Church. By the late 17th century, the prominence and purpose of the Kremlin were clearly established. The Tsars were baptized in the Cathedral of the Annunciation, and they later married and were crowned in the same cathedral. They lived in the magnificence of the Terem Palace, and they received dignitaries and nobles in the splendid halls of the Palace of Facets. The Tsars were buried in the silver-domed cathedral of the Archangel Michael. The transformation of the Kremlin into an architectural treasure in the 19th century began when Ivan III united the surrounded lands and proclaimed Moscow the Third Rome. He requested the best artists and architects from Russia and Italy, then commissioned a cluster of churches, cathedrals and palaces. All enclosed the entire complex in red stone walls, studded with imposing turrets. The Kremlin represents Russia's spiritual and secular heritage. With its duality of lofty spirituality and ostentatious materialism, it mirrored Russia itself and contained within its confines the whole epic of the Russian nation and the whole inward drama of the Russian soul.